So this garden is coastal themed. What I was trying to do here was just think of the colours and the elements that you see between the beach and the first dwellings. I've got a few things here for inspiration. I've got a little retaining wall that snakes through the garden bed. It looks a little bit like the paths that we walk on. And then I've got steppers here, which reminds me of the timber slats that sometimes you walk on going over a sand dune to stop erosion. Lots of native grasses in this garden, and I'd be happy to actually mulch around the base of them with washed river sand rather than mulch, so it looks like it's part of the beach. And so in this garden bed, I'd probably have a blend of like a eucalyptus mulch or just a forest blend mulch and some sand around the native grasses. I threw in some frangipanis because, hey, who doesn't think of the beach when they think of frangipanis? The other plants that are in there are licorice plants, teucrium and buxus balls, all kind of bulletproof. Got a lawn in there because coastal garden, very laid back. We do see lots of lawns around our beaches, and then a fire pit, which is a destination to bring you into the garden. And the colours that I've gone for, well, most of the pavers, I've ticked off oatmeal and sunstone. So they're both creams with a bit of light brown in them. So you're looking at these sorts of colours here. The crushed granite, I'd go for something that had a little bit of yellow and brown in it, just to neutralise it and tie in with the retaining wall. And then you're going to have a ton of different greens on the garden because of all the plants and the lawn. So they all sit nice. And then for a splash of colour, I've got some little steppers here which are seats, so they could be just sanded up timber logs. You put some really eye-catching pillows, but your retaining wall right around the fire pit also doubles as a bench as well. So you set it about 450, which is a comfortable chair height. Throw some cushions on there. Pick the colours that you like. I thought the three of them looked like a really big, healthy, happy ocean, and they sit well in that colour palette. As far as texture goes, the only thing I could think of was get a pillow that's got a bit of texture to it and frayed edges, because if you ever look around at the beach, you always see things that are a bit worn. So buying a pillow that's not necessarily perfect and it's got a bit of jagged edge to it, this is just a version of Hessian. And then for the crushed granite or for the pebbles around the fire pit, just go for something that sits well with the choice of pavers and retaining wall that you pick. So that's the coastal garden. I reckon it's a garden that you can enjoy all afternoon and into the evening. And if it was at my place, I'd put this garden in and then I'd put in some garden lights afterward, because I reckon that you'd want to be out there at that fire pit till all hours of the night. That's my coastal garden.